Hello everyone, this is the latest and greatest tutoring session with Joanna, who's actually here today, so you don't have to deal with the lag from the Google Hangouts.
Hello. Hi.
Yes.
I'm here.
It was the prompt. Hello. Tell them hello. Okay, so tell us what's new.
What's new? So I still don't have the content ready to sell, but I made a lot of progress.
Okay, let's talk about your progress.
First of all, the most important progress is the website, because I found somebody who's helping with me with the design of my website for free.
How did you find somebody to help for free?
I was spending so many times trying to learn how to deal with WordPress because I'm not IT specialist, and it was taking so much time. So I thought it's better to pay somebody to do some things for me. So I used Upwork and put the job offer.
And how much did you put for the job offer price?
Well, $15.
$15. That's what you get nowadays for being a programmer, guys. $15 jobs.
But she applied and she put information that she can do it for $5.
So she was basically trolling him. It's like, get the fuck out of here. $15, I'll do it for $5. How's that?
No, but then she asked me for more details about the project, and she told me that she's learning Japanese also. So my idea seems to be very exciting and interesting. And she told that she would like to help me with the whole website, not only with the problems I was having.
So you got somebody to work on your whole website for free.
Yes, because I told her how much does she want for the whole website and that I don't have so much money. And she told me that because she see I don't have much money and I'm doing something she's passionate about, so she will do it for free.
You hear that, guys? You help yourself. The universe helps yourself. Something helps yourself. Is that what I just said?
Yeah.
I'm worried about my tea. What tea are we drinking right now?
Earl Grey.
Tea Earl Grey hot, bitches. So what I mean is that you go out in the world, you try to do something, and then sometimes you get unlucky, and sometimes you get lucky as well. So this case was massive luck because you found somebody to help you for free. Now, somebody who helps you for free is not only useful because they work for free, but once you start paying them, if you start paying them in the future, you know that they're not just doing it for the money, so they have some level of loyalty to your project. A lot of people, when you just pay them to do something, they get a better job and they quit, and then they stick you with that infrastructure that they've built, and now you're to find somebody to pick that up and carry it forward is hard because the program was written by a certain person with a certain programming style. So I would call that a major milestone because you're not a technical person. So before you were doing an online business without any technical help, now you have the technical help.
Yes, before it was taking me too much time dealing with simple problems.
Now, her passion is Japanese and she can make a website by herself. So why isn't she doing this already? Any idea?
Yeah,
why wouldn't she do it by herself?
Because her level of Japanese is very basic. So she would not be able to do what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
That's the point.
Well, I think she wouldn't be doing it even if her Japanese was as good as yours because she's not entrepreneurial. A lot of times, the entrepreneur is just the person who tries something. And everybody else are the people who can actually do it, but they don't try it. So, okay, that's one major milestone. What else happened since the last time?
That when I was looking for people who would allow me to use their work, one person turned out to be wife of the person who owned a company who's preparing manga and other illustrations.
All right, let's bring everybody up to speed with that because maybe they just clicked on this video and they don't remember what happened before. You're building a website to teach people the Japanese language using manga. And so since you need to reproduce the manga, you need to obtain the rights to the manga. So the issue was Do you use famous manga? That's a problem, because if you just reproduce them and print them, put them online, then you might get sued. Even though if you're small, I don't think that's going to happen anyway. But for you, the idea was to try to find some manga that are not famous, because it's full of them. And we talked about doujinshi, for example. And here, you went out trying to find manga that you could use. So how did you do the email? Did you contact a lot of people that are creating manga? Is that how this...
Yes,
came
I
about?
was contacting a lot of people. But what's interesting, in the beginning, most of them was not answering to my emails.
Mm-hmm.
And they started to answer when I mailed the email differently. First of all, I was giving a lot of details that maybe we can cooperate, they can have some money also from the product I'm selling, and it can be I can make a profit and they can make a profit. And
Did I help you to change that email, or were you just working on your own for this?
I was working on my own.
Okay.
So
So how did you realize that it was too complex and that you gave too much detail?
I mean, basically, I just tried. I just made an experiment.
Oh, was it because we talked about giving too much detail for another completely different task? And then you tried to apply it to your emails as well. Is that how it happened?
Yeah, kind of.
Is it? I'm just wondering because I can't remember.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, bottom line is you were giving too much detail. You were explaining to them how to make money. You thought you misunderstood their motivation. You thought their motivation is to make money. And so you went into detail about how they can monetize helping you. Instead, it turns out these are not people that are out to make money. Otherwise, they probably would do something else instead of drawing manga. And but they didn't really have anything against anybody using their manga. So the only thing that was discouraging them is the complexity of your message.
Yes, when I wrote, my name is Joanna and I'm preparing some study notes for learning Japanese. Can I use what you have? And then the answer was very often yes.
Big lesson here. Extremely big lesson from many fronts. Tweaking your message, not making assumptions about what the people that you're talking to actually want. This normally is very useful when you're trying to figure out what the client wants. You think the client wants something, and then you figure out that's not. And if you finish the product and then give it to them and that's not what they wanted, then you might have wasted 4 or 5 years of product development. But so in this case, you got exactly what you wanted, which is the permission to reproduce manga that are novel, professional quality, right? Not some crap online comics, just really, they actually look like Japanese manga.
Mm-hmm. Depends which one. Some of them are like internet comic.
Mm-hmm.
One and two of them look like professional. So
Okay, so there's a range. And then in the end, you even found a company that is publishing comics.
Yes, they are producing small manga, short mangas and illustration, and they had Skype with me and they told they will send me a lot of mangas, and in exchange I just have to put information that I will use the thing is their company.
And you found them by emailing the wife, who was herself drawing manga.
Yes,
and then she told you my husband actually has this company where he's producing manga.
Yes. But other thing with this company is that I'm not sure how reliable is this information, because first they told they would write to me and I was waiting 1 month for the answer, and then I had Skype with them. Then they told that they would give me the mangas, and it's been 2 weeks since they told they would give it to me. So I cannot rely on them too much, because I'm not sure how valuable is that.
Right, well, I don't think that's a big problem, because if you think what kind of a person is on the other side, they are not really trying to monetize this. I mean, when people don't care, what you don't want to do is rely on them to act. But in this case, all you want from them is material that they already have in their hands. So the moment that they give it to you and they sign some kind of agreement that you can use it, you're done. And in this circumstance, the fact that they don't care very much is good, because they're going to be off your back. They're not going to be micro-checking how much money are you making, how much royalty do you owe us. They don't even want any royalties, right?
No, they don't want.
So when you need somebody, this is a big picture point, is that when you want somebody to do something on an ongoing basis, you want them to be greedy and you want them to be proactive. You want them to fight for what they want. Otherwise, they will not cooperate. They'll be lazy. But if you just want something from someone one time, it's better if they're lazy because they're just going to give it to you, forget about it, you'll never hear from them again. So they're never going to give you problems. At least that's the way I'm reading this. That, you know, he contacted the wife and her husband is doing this thing. They even ask you, should we sign anything? So they're extremely forthcoming. They're not trying to impose any conditions at all. They're just helping you out without wanting anything.
I mean, it's a small company, so
yeah,
that's
so that's good.
why.
It's exactly what you want because you're an individual, so you're smaller than a small company. So you want a partner that's bigger than you, gives you some power, but not too big. Too big, they wouldn't even talk to you. So I think that's another amazing improvement. That before you were starting out with an idea, now you got a company that pledged to give you, how many mangas do they have in their database?
I don't know how many. They just told they have a lot, and they will send me many manga, like some samples, and I can choose which one and how much do I want to use. But they still didn't answer till that time.
I would follow up with them. It's been 2 weeks.
I follow up.
Mhm.
I wrote them an email 3 days ago, and I had no answer.
Do you have the phone number for the wife?
I have the phone number. I have his phone number, and I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Okay, so you can just send a message on Facebook then.
Yeah, because I sent an email, but maybe just they're busy in Japan right now.
Right,
That's
right. So
also-
I wouldn't talk to them every 5 minutes and turn them off, but 2 weeks is definitely enough time to follow up. And you need to figure out how many of these mangas they have. But I mean, even if they just have 10, it's more than enough to start your business. And potentially they have hundreds. So they said a lot. So if they have hundreds, you're all set. You never need to work out another agreement for your contents again. So now we have 2 very big improvements. Was there anything else?
Let me think. I think that's all. Before I was worried. I was thinking whether I should sign agreement with them or not.
You should, yeah.
If they are not the company, if they are amateur, because I was afraid that I would discourage some of them. The one which are not making money out of it.
Do
but
you
making
mean
it
the
for hobby.
individual
Yes,
creators, not the company, right?
Yes.
The individual mangas. I think you first get a yes from them, and then very informally you say, okay, so by the way, do you mind signing this? And you send it to them. So it's all a matter of understanding. For them, is it a big deal to sign something? We've already figured out when you were talking to me about this that these guys are basically happy that somebody's reading their stuff, right?
Yes, but on the other hand, the one who make a good stuff, they sometimes sign the agreement with Japanese publishing house. And then Japanese publishing house publish their mangas in Japan. But the same publishing house has the exclusive rights for the manga.
Right.
And in this case, if I want to use the manga, I will need to contact the publishing house and I need to pay them.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that. So you need to get something in writing where you can use it for 2 or 3 years. And if they don't give it to you, it doesn't matter because now you get this partner, the company that's already pledging to give you. But I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket, meaning if they change their mind, you still need a backup. But I think you're going the right way. Also, you can explain to these guys. I mean, if they're scared that they sign with you and then that precludes them from then signing a contract with a real publishing house, you can tell them the publishing house most likely will not know because we're really targeting a foreign audience. We're not going to distribute this in Japan ever. So you could get the rights to print that and to reproduce it only online, could have on the contract, only online and only in Europe. So probably the Japanese publishing house, if they're going to print their comics, they don't care what's going on, only online, only in Europe. And by the way, they don't even need to tell them because they'll never find out, basically. But you were telling me that a lot of them, they just don't care. They don't really have any ambitions to become famous manga comic artists. They're just drawing because they like it.
Yes, but some of people I contacted, they told I would like to give you the permission, but I cannot because I already signed agreement with some publishing house.
Well, if they already signed it, they're out of the
Yes.
picture. You forget about those. I'm just saying the ones that haven't yet, but they might want to sign it. And I think the ones that have not signed, I'm not sure how hopeful they are that they can sign it. Because you don't imagine that that's going to happen anytime soon. It's kind of like publishing a book, right? Finding somebody that's going to print it and take the expense, take the risk. And so it's sort of a big deal, I guess, if you're making manga, to find a publishing house. So if it's never happened to them, I don't think they're waiting and holding their breath for it. So in that case, again, you can and make them understand that for you to create these notes is work. So you need to protect the work, not that you're gonna translate it all, create the notes around the work, and then next day you can't use it anymore. Then you throw away all your work. Or you could tell them, in case you want to buy back the rights from me, it's $15,000, because that's how much it costs us to translate and make the notes. So you by any chance, if you find a publishing house that wants to get it, no problem, because you're gonna get paid from the publishing house. Just move away 15K, and that's it. We won't use it anymore. At least you reimbursed our expense. Anything else that happened since the last time that are?
No, that's all.
That's all that happened, people. So went from having an idea and nothing consistent to now having a technical co-founder who's trusted because they like what they're doing. They're not just doing it for the money. To the point they're willing to work for free, so her initial expense becomes zero. She has zero risk. In many ways, this makes her unkillable. Startups fail when they run out of money. And technical startups run out of money when their tech team eats it all up. So she's got a tech team that doesn't need anything. And so it's very hard for you to go out of business with zero expenses. You're also telling me you got free hosting from some friend?
Yes, I'm using server of my friend.
So
the website is on server of my friend, so I don't pay for that also.
So you don't pay for the server, you don't pay for the techno, what do you pay for? Nothing.
I'm spending time on that.
Right,
So
that's exactly what you should do.
I could work in this time and get real money, but I'm...
And where's the product? How long before you've got enough product to open up the site?
Right now I plan to launch in May, and I hope it will happen. Mm-hmm. My problem is that everything is taking me too much time I predicted. Initially I wanted to start in December or January, something like that. And it's all getting too long. But I think in May I can open the website.
I think you've made fundamental progress because, developing the product, things that you can do by yourself, you can always do. But you got lucky in a couple of critical aspects that are not just a matter of time. They're more likely like a matter of luck or a matter of, who knows, how easy or hard it would be to get the same thing again. So I think this is a huge amount of progress, and whenever you finish the product is fine, I guess, as long as you can have funds to eat, because you're working several part-time jobs as well, right?
Three
at the moment, guys. Three part-time jobs plus the business, but now free technical co-founder who loves the product and a source of free, royalty-free material that she can use. I call that progress. Wait a second. There's an addendum. So you're saying that you met who?
I didn't meet him. I was asking my friends if they know somebody who's drawing manga, and somebody gave me an idea that there is one Japanese manga which is well known in Japan, and basically it has no copyrights, and everybody can use it. Whether it's a translation, publishing abroad, anything.
And why?
Because the author of the manga, he didn't like what the publishing house was doing. So when the contract finished, he didn't want to extend, and he announced that this manga is free to use.
Okay, so you found somebody who's an enemy of the publishing houses. So the general principle here, I think, is that when you're small, you're going against some people who are big, it's quite likely you will find out some other small enemies of the people who are big, and you become natural allies. So in this case, this guy's pissed with the publishing houses. Even if he didn't tell everybody, just anybody use it, do whatever you want with it, you could still have contacted him and say, we've got a new model of publishing, which is we just put it online with the study notes or whatever. And he'd probably say yes, just to piss off the publishing companies.
Basically, I'm not sure if he's mad at them. He just told that what they was doing was not making a sense. That once he wanted to buy his own manga, because he needed that, and it was nowhere in the shops. So that's why when the contract finished, he told he don't want to work with them anymore.
So they said they were going to publish him, they bought the rights, and then they didn't print it.
Yes, basically that was the problem.
So anyway, I'm not saying he was furious with them, but he's not their friend.
Yes.
So as a consequence, he's very likely to be your friend. So it's a general principle if you start something to map out who is your enemy and do they have any enemies, and contact them, and most likely they'll be very eager to help you, especially if they have emotional reasons, like the opponent, so-called, screwed them over, or they got into some kind of a confrontation, especially legal battle. They will be absolutely eager to help you out if you're going against them, even for free, most of the time. So that's another general principle. That concludes our session for today permanently. Bye.
Bye-bye.